I started 2023 with a goal to ride 4,000 miles for my 40th year of life. A goal that would also have me cross 40,000 total miles logged. At the same time, I aimed to capture the year on video in order to tell the story of how it all happened. And then it all happened. At first, I spent many rides getting into the hang of filming and video editing and composing music and publishing on YouTube. Having a GoPro holstered easily within arm's reach on my bike gave me a sort of license or incentive to see things from a new perspective and to stop and explore the scenery a bit closer. I've technically always had a camera with me in some form, but usually tucked away in a bag and never really one dedicated specifically to documenting the ride. I made sure to keep it charged up and powered on for nearly every ride, and that came in handy as I'd often come across something that inspired a future video idea or fit nicely into a theme I had been kicking around. And in many instances, simply pressing record on the camera seemed to cause unusual things to happen, for better or usually worse. Compiling candid clips into coherent videos with original music and scripted narration turns out to be considerably more time-consuming than actually writing, and it quickly became apparent that I was not going to be able to produce and post regular updates as the year progressed. Instead, the first few videos became an elongated introduction to a story that seemed like it might never actually start. It was hard not to fall into negative self-talk and feel like I don't actually have a story to tell, I just have this thing I'm doing. Many others have already achieved much more than I ever will and told greater stories, so why would anyone listen to me? What makes my pursuit of a rather mediocre goal worthy of such a production? I kept filming things along the way, but I wasn't sure how these scenes were meant to fit into the bigger picture since I didn't actually know how the story was going to end. I knew from a mathematical perspective that the goal was achievable. I had done around 3,500 miles the previous 3 years in a row. All 4,000 really takes is 11 miles per day, or 77 miles per week, or 333 miles per month. But I also knew from 15 previous years of logging rides, it's not quite as simple as the math makes it seem. Plans are often ruined and conditions are seldom ideal. Over a long enough stretch, a grind seems inevitable. Still, despite the expected wind and rain, things procedurally went really well for a while. I made time to ride, even if only to try to get a specific shot recorded. I completed 5 videos and produced 50 minutes of original music to go with them, aiming to make each video concept and soundtrack better than the last. I updated my nutrition and hydration plans to match my endurance goals. I channeled optimism into other aspects of my life. I started going to bed on time and getting up early and going for walks before sunrise with my wife, and cross-training with a focus on strength and mobility. This mindset of growth was reflected in my cycling as I finished February, March, April, May, June, and July with personal best mileages, with June being my highest all-time mileage of any single month at 486. Through the first half of the year, 19 of 26 weeks were also personal bests. By the midpoint of the year in July, I had exactly 2,000 miles down and was looking to breeze past 4,000 with a rough projection of over 4,300 miles possible. 40,000 also came and went beneath a kettle of birds silently circling overhead, a seemingly recurring visual theme for the year. There's a term used in baseball known as a regression toward the mean. Often when a player is giving an outlier performance over a long enough time period, a slump seems inevitable. Things that were working just stop working. It's as if the laws of reality present obstacles in order to keep things within the expected limits of probability. I knew this was meant to be a challenge, but through the first 7 months it looked like I had simply never been trying before. Maybe I just got caught believing it was a simple math problem. Whatever the case, obstacles appeared. I started to feel cheated by all the wellness gurus insisting that physical activity and early mornings and sunshine and electrolytes and cold showers and sheer persistence should somehow elevate me beyond my wildest imagination. Instead, I felt myself grinding down and wearing out and contemplating whether it was worth the effort to continue. It wasn't all bad, but it wasn't at all what I had hoped for. After trying seemingly every mobility trick and flexibility hack and even visiting a chiropractor and physical therapist for the first time in my life, I was left with frustration and mixed results. I had originally planned to go for a first ever 500 miles in September, taking advantage of the cooler mornings and evenings. I imagined I'd be returning refreshed and energized after a week-long vacation at the end of August. Instead, I came down with my second major illness of the year and was effectively sidelined with a fever and body aches that just would not quit. The payoff eluded me. Pain and tension came and went as they saw fit, and I felt powerless. For the first time since week 7, my year-end projection dipped under the 4,000 mark. I salvaged September with 317 miles, but I felt my goal slipping away beneath uncertainty. It took another 10 weeks to dig back out of the hole, but with solid efforts through October and November, I was back on track, finishing again with personal bests over 400 miles in each. With December darkness and colder temperatures looming, all that was left was to chip away at it one ride at a time. Finally, on December 9th, on the same stretch of road where I began this adventure, I completed my 4,000-mile goal. And suddenly, it was over. I wish I could say this accomplishment brought me to new heights and I couldn't wait to push for a bigger goal in 2024, but that's not quite the truth. This journey revealed weaknesses that I have yet to overcome. But I feel that regardless of the magnitude, a personal achievement is worthy of celebration. I've come to believe sometimes in life we have to create the payoff we deserve. Now is the point when I'm supposed to tell you that setting your mind to something and sticking with it will make you limitless, but I think a better lesson is to perceive and test your limits. None of us may ever become the greatest, but we can dare to be greater than our normal, even if only incrementally. By setting goals outside our perceived reach, we might find out our limits are not where we assumed. So go find out. And remember that only you are accountable to yourself unconditionally. Only you can believe in yourself unconditionally. Only you can.